Welcome back. In the last video, you learned how to read an extended staff system and a musical score. Today, we will look at how very high and very low notes are written. In a regular 5-line staff, space is limited. Without additional lines, we can write 11 different note positions, 5 on the lines and 6 in the spaces, including the positions directly above and below the staff. As soon as notes go higher or lower, we use so-called ledger lines. These ledger lines have exactly the same spacing as the regular staff lines. Here too, notes alternate between lines and spaces. In the treble clef, you should especially remember middle C. It sits on a single ledger line below the staff. Directly below it is B. Going upward, you should be able to read the notes up to C6 fluently. G, A, B, and C. This C already sits on 2 ledger lines. That means the treble clef covers a range of 2 octaves, from middle C to C6. The same principle applies to the bass clef. Here the range extends from the low C on 2 ledger lines below the staff up to middle C on a single ledger line above it. And this middle C connects both staves. It is exactly the same note in both the bass clef and the treble clef. For even higher or lower notes, it takes some practice to recognize them instantly. If you do not recognize a note immediately, you can count from a note you already know. C, D, E, F. However, many instruments have such a large range that even ledger lines eventually become difficult to read. For this reason, there is a practical tool, the octave line. This is a dashed line marked with the small 8 or the abbreviation 8VA, which comes from the Italian word ottava. If the octave line appears above the notes are played 1 octave higher. If it appears below the notes, they are played 1 octave lower. So this note pattern is actually played 1 octave higher than written. In extreme cases, composers even use a 15 marking. This stands for Quindicesima, Italian for 15th, and indicates that the notes should be played 2 octaves higher or lower than written. But why 15 and not 16? The answer is simple. If you count the starting note, there are exactly 15 note steps between 2 notes that are 2 octaves apart. However, 15 markings are relatively rare. Ordinary octave lines are much more common. In the next video, we will take a closer look at the different octave registers. In other words, the full pitch range that musical instruments can cover. Stay tuned and subscribe to MusePrep for more exciting videos about music theory.